welcome back to our YouTube channel, and today we are in
Dare to Escape. And today we're going to be doing the Ringmaster, and I'm so excited.
I'm super excited for this. Me and Kool haven't done an escape room, so this will be our very first time, and we'll tell you guys how it is. It's going to be so awesome. I can't wait to do this. So, let's go. Different rooms. These are all the different rooms, and we're doing that one. Oh my god, I can't wait. And then they Dark Eye, the Dig, the Ringmaster, the Asylum, and then they do have props over here. But this is the cool part. This is a cocoon from Killer Clowns of Outer Space,
and that was so cool.
That like the people that made Halloween, like Halloween Horror Nights last year, when it was a scare zone, they let them have the cocoon. This is from the house Saw from Halloween Horror Nights to play a game. Do you think the colors mean something?
Yes.
Maybe we have to put them somewhere.
Maybe you have to, like, I don't know. This is hard.
We have just finished the Ringmaster, the escape room. It was so awesome.
Yeah, I really liked it.
And it was so cool. You guys should come in and do it. It's like there's stuff for everybody can do. It's not like one person can do that and like you all have to go there. No, there's more things that each person can do, which is really cool.
Yeah, and the cool part is that like with every escape room you struggle, and that makes it even more fun. We really liked it.
So in the beginning of the room of Ringmaster, this is the first room. I can't show you the second room because that's going to show a lot of clues out. But the first room is where most of the time you will be in, and then the second room.
Really cool when you come in.
So we just met the owner, and it was really cool. And now he's going to show us some of the rooms that we haven't been in, because we only been to one of them, the Ringmaster, that we just showed you guys. That one was really fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. And now I'm so excited and scared at the same time to go to the other rooms.
So guys, this is one of the owners in
Dare to Escape. His name is Sean.
And he's going to show us around in some of the rooms. Is this your favorite room?
So all the rooms that we have, the Asylum is my favorite game because it's scary. We like to create an environment that puts you into this asylum, making you feel like you're really there. Your brother already thinks we're in a real asylum, so that means we did our job quite well. And then we create a story. So our story here is Victoria Seed was a woman back in the 1940s who was committed for unknown reasons. She was perfectly sane, but her father decided to commit her because she was ready to expose his secrets. So he is now here. He has committed his daughter, paid the doctor a lot of money, and it's going to be your job to find out exactly why Captain Sneed put his daughter here and what happened to her. Now the story that I've heard, Lizzie, if you want to take a look over here on the chair, Lizzie was Victoria's doll when she was here back in the 1940s. Lizzie is still very much alive. She's here to help you and guide you. She's here to protect you. She also knows some things that Victoria put in place. So I know that back in the 1940s, Victoria did find a way out of her room. So it's going to be your job to find the same escape path. And she put a whole bunch of clues in place for herself to remember how to get out. But she was never heard from again. It's going to be your job as paranormal investigators to find out exactly how she got out of her room and what happened to her. But she was never heard from again, so it's assumed she's still trapped here in the asylum. If you can find out the truth, she will grant you exit from the asylum, and in doing so, you will free her spirit, and she'll be forever grateful.
Whoa!
But be careful, because the spirits have already sensed your sympathetic vibrations here, and they're already starting to materialize. I can feel them already. Lizzie is already letting me know that you only have 1 hour before Dr. Tillman himself gains enough energy from your fear in order to materialize, and he will make you as new as patients here in the asylum.
So is this one of like the common rooms, like where people pick, or like no?
Yeah, so for the asylum, it is our most common room. More people book it than any other because it's scary. You know, we're here in Orlando, and it's scare capital of the world to me. You know, I know that you guys are big Halloween Horror Nights fans. So are we. So when we created Dare to Escape, we wanted to, of course, at the foremost have our scary game. So the asylum was our first game we put in place. But it is customizable, so if you don't want to play a really scary experience, you could always let us know, and as long as it's a private room, we can customize it, because those spirits, they listen to us a little bit, and they're a little controlled, so we can create whatever experience you as the guest want. On that said, on the other end of the spectrum, we've had guests who really scare us, and we actually do extra. We have a couple of extra prop pieces that we could put in the room, extra sound effects that we can incorporate. And it's quite a fun time, so we hope to see you guys back to do the asylum for sure.
That's so cool. We're definitely going to be back to do that.
I'm scared. I don't want to do that. The dig about.
What's the dig about? So the dig here, this is our family-friendly game, so there's nothing scary about this one. But it still ties into our other stories, because one thing I haven't said yet, now that we've been through 3 of the rooms, the Ringmaster, the Asylum, and the Dig, they all tie together. If you follow the storyline, the Tillmans are this evil entity, and our culmination in the archive is where everything comes together. I'll talk about that when I go over there. But here in the Dig, you're coming to help your colleague out. Dr. Eleanor Harding is an archaeologist in London. She has found a set of dinosaur bones here in her campsite in Egypt. But yet she doesn't know enough about dinosaurs because she's an archaeologist. You are her team of paleontologists that she calls any time that she finds something like this. So she has called you in on an overnight flight. You have landed, but Dr. Harding is not here. That is because overnight a massive sandstorm blew through the desert, and they were forced to evacuate the campsite. You've arrived to find the campsite covered in sand, but on top of that, you also got wind that Dr. Arthur Tillman, the notorious paleontologist who travels the world always capturing Dr. Harding's finds, is on his way. He intercepted transmission that Dr. Harding sent to you last night, and he's on his way. So you have only 60 minutes, because satellite imagery shows that his caravan is just an hour away. So in an hour's time, he will arrive, and he will steal this dinosaur bone and take your stake the claim to fame, and you will lose.
Whoa.
So nothing scary, but it definitely is a family-friendly room. It's a smaller room, as you can see. So this room only holds about 5 people. We could put 6 or 7 in if people really want it. It's also very linear. So the Ringmaster that you just played, very non-linear. You had to do a couple things at the same time. In here, for the most part, you'll be working as a team the whole time. Because again, you are a team of paleontologists, you would be working together. Particular example, Dr. Harding, a very bright woman who works at the Institute, she put together only the brightest puzzles. So what she did was she put a lot of ciphers in the game. She put a lot of, I don't want to say educational, because sometimes if I use that word with especially kids, I'm like, I don't want to do an educational room. But it involves some knowledge. Now, not outside knowledge. Everything you need is within the experience. But it's definitely a mind bender. People walk out of here and like, oh, my brain hurts. I'm like, good. That's the point of this room. It's supposed to be mentally challenging. Whereas in the Ringmaster, the game you just played, in that experience, what you did was went into a crazed carnival, where this crazed Ringmaster put the puzzles in place, where everything is supposed to be chaotic and nonsensical until the very end when things make sense. So again, it's who puts these things in place for you.
So is this like for family, or can just everybody can do it?
Everybody can do it. We actually had just a couple weeks ago a group of ladies in their 70s. They were celebrating their 70th birthdays, and they just decided to come, and they're like, the dig sounds fun, and they came and they had a blast. So any group can play. On the opposite side, we actually had a group. It was a birthday party. I'll never forget, there was a 9 and 11-year-old and his family, and the family, the adults, they walked around the room clueless, and the 9 and 11-year-old solved every puzzle in the game. It's definitely harder for kids, in my opinion, if it's just kids. That's why it's great to have a family. But those two proved me wrong, So you definitely have a wide mix of who could play this game.
Well, I want to do this too.
Well, the story is that the Tillman family that we were just talking about, after many generations, the truths may lie here. They, some point, created an archive believed to be buried someplace deep beneath the city of New York in the sewer system so that they could protect their own secrets. Only they and the people that they trust are welcome into their world. In this experience, you have to understand many people have gone missing searching for this rumored archive. Over the last 2 years, Central Park, New York has seen more disappearances than it ever has, ever. So what you have to do as urban explorers is come and try to find out what's causing these disappearances. And there's some rumors, you know, maybe it's the mole people that reside beneath the city of New York. Maybe it indeed is the giant mutant turtles that eat pizza that live in the sewer system that are just taking people. Or is it possibly that this archive does indeed exist and the Tillmans really do reside someplace down here? So it's your job, if the archive exists, to infiltrate it, find their secrets and get out before you become buried as part of their secret forever. So the story is a little morbid, but it's not scary, and we always make sure we tell families that. This game is our hardest experience. I always preface that. It's a 90-minute game. Definitely more than 4 people, 4 or more people to play it, but definitely our hardest game. There's a lot of twists and turns that are unexpected, and when you get there, sometimes like the brakes get put on and you have to kind of regather yourself and say, okay, what do I do now? Kind of start that thought process all over again. This is one of those games where the beginning is very physical because there's a lot of, you're on layers. You have to go down, you have to go up. So in this experience, the puzzles are physical based. You're in a sewer, it makes sense, it's more industrial. But once you continue onward, I'll give you a secret, the archive does exist. Once you infiltrate the archive, it becomes a very mental game again because the Tillmans have now put you to a test. So once you get into the archive itself, the whole mindset changes, and that's where it's hard for people to make that change. But yeah, it's our most beautiful room, and we love it. We love it so much.
How long did it take to build this?
As I was saying a little earlier, it takes 3 months usually from start to finish, from concept to development. This particular room, we did use Fake Productions, who is the company that builds those sets at HHN, and they built it very quickly. Probably 3 weeks to build the whole experience.
But is there more puzzles to this room?
There are a couple more, just because it's a longer game. And they're also multi-layered. We wanted to create a game, for enthusiasts, but at the same time for beginners to still enjoy, where the puzzles are very multi-layered. You have to solve something and then take something else and incorporate it to solve it and get the final answer.
So what is the story behind the video game store?
So the video store, the development story first. Maureen loves video stores. She used to work at one when she was younger, and always have loved the nostalgia feel of a video store. So when we knew we were expanding to this new space, she's like, I want a video store. I'm like, okay, make it happen. On the same note, on my side, I had a father who loved collecting movies, just loved collecting them, watching them. He passed away in 2015, and we had all these DVDs, and I'm like, what are we going to do with them? So Maureen said, hey, I want to make that video store, right? Let's put them in. So all the DVDs that are in here actually were his. So part of him is here with us. And then on the other side, Harvest Moon Video, which is the name of our store, it actually comes from our 2 business partners and friends, Mir and Eileen, who has a parent company called Harvest Moon Entertainment. So it means a lot to them, and their logo that they created many, many years ago is actually the logo used on our video storefront. So it's a combination of, from a development standpoint, why the video store exists. Then we thought, okay, well, let's put tapes in the room because that's what it would have been like. But even our owner here, Joseph Body, has decided that, even as time changes, he needs to transform his store from videotape to DVD. Video stores are kind of going away. So this is the last video store of its kind in the country. No other video store exists. The owner, Joseph Body, really loves this store. It's located in Sleepy Hollow, New York, so it's got that wonderful Halloween vibe. And as you're playing, you learn that Joseph Body is ready to retire. He can no longer keep up with the store, so what he has done is he has issued 4, in this case, members, picked the membership cards at random and issued golden tickets, just like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. So there's the inspiration. And he's invited those golden ticket winners to come to his store and prove their worth. If you could come in, solve all of his puzzles and escape in the time frame, he will award you the deed and the store will be yours. If you can't, the next team of lucky golden ticket winners will have that opportunity to take the video store. So he wants to find that team that's most worthy of solving his puzzles to get the store.
Is there any puzzles in the store?
In the store itself?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this room actually has more puzzles than any of our other games. But the puzzles here, because this is designed as a beginner level room, even though it still takes a long time, and our enthusiasts absolutely love this game. Of any of the rooms, this is the one that's getting the most revered feedback immediately. Like everyone's like, go play it, go play it, go play it. And our doors have been flooded, which is great. But it's just a fun room. And some of the puzzles are designed to be a little easier. So like you'll solve a puzzle, and if you have easier puzzles, then you could put more puzzles in the game. There's only 2 puzzles in here that are really multi-layered, like we were talking about before. But the puzzles, again, are just so much fun and interactive.
I'm gonna come back and do all of these.
Yeah.
How did you start this at first?
So that's a good question. So we want to go there. The way we started this was I was a science teacher. I actually taught AP chemistry and math and biology and marine science for 13 years. My wife, Maureen, she was in the film industry. She was living up in Connecticut, working in New York. She was working on films, working on TV shows. Met her, she moved down. We played an escape room. We said, that's fun. We played another one. That's fun. And we kept playing. And after a couple of months, we said, we're done. So we quit our jobs, we opened up the rooms. At the same time, we met our friends, Eileen and Mary, who I was telling you about before. They live in Chicago. And we said, hey, you want to open this up with us? And they were, of course, all about it. They love Halloween, love escape rooms. So the 4 of us then sat down and we created the beginning of Dare to Escape. Now, in terms of our concepts of the rooms, like I was saying earlier, we're Halloween year-round. Halloween Horror Nights is a really big part of our lives. So we started with our Asylum. Our Asylum was our first scary game that we really wanted to highlight. Then we were like, okay, what other morbid things can we do to people? Oh, Ringmaster, Crazed Carnival, Freak Show. Then we sat back and said, wait a minute, put the brakes on. We're in Orlando. There's a lot of families here. A lot of families on vacation, a lot of families around. We can't just put ourselves in a little corner, so let's do something that's a little more on the family-friendly side. Dig. Then we said, as we were developing them, let's create an overarching story. Let's do something other escape rooms really don't do. So we created the story of the Tillmans, from one story to the next. Then, that process took about a year. And then after that, we said, okay, well, we got still more space. What are we going to do? And we thought, let's culminate it. Let's put everything together into one final story. Archive. Then, so the video store, it came about. We wanted another family-friendly game. Also, after playing Ringmaster, hopefully you now see that Dare to Escape's games are hard. We want you to be challenged. That's important for us. We want to make sure our games are difficult. So we've developed a video store as kind of that intro-level room. As the game is played on, it's proven to be a little harder than we thought. It just takes more time. With more people, it's easier. But that game is a little easier in terms of the flow of the game. It's a little more intuitive, some of the puzzles, and not multi-layered. But we got that scary game coming. It's going to be hopefully opening by March, and it will be the scariest game in Orlando. We say it, and we were going to deliver. Tight spaces, complete darkness, and isolation. So our job is to make every single person that comes through feel uncomfortable. That's our goal, right? So whether it's gore, or whether it's darkness, or whether it's the isolation, or whether it's loud noises, we want you to feel scared. We also have our paper company, which will be opening up in about a month. The game is going to be a small game, one room, just a very small space, but it's going to be a party room. So it could be a room for events, birthday parties, team building groups, whatever it might be. Or you could just come and play the room as itself. We want it to be that multi-purpose room. And then finally, we have that pop-up game, which you didn't see on camera, but it's rentable. We do it for birthday parties, scout groups, corporate events.
Kyle, did you escape from the asylum?
So guys, we had a great time here. I can't wait when we come back and do all of them. It seems so interesting.
Yeah, I really, really like it. One day I want to come here just to do all of them.
Yeah, they seem so fun. Even the newest ones, they seem so fun. Just even hearing about it seems really fun. So we are definitely coming back here and doing them. I also want to say thank you to Dare to Escape
for inviting us for this new adventure.
Pretty cool. So, if you like this video, please subscribe down below.
Smash that like button. Turn on the bell for notifications.
Bing, bing, bing. And feel free to comment down below. Always remember to
be cool
and stay awesome. See you guys in the next adventure.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.